Okay, we should be live. Give me the heads up on the audio. Audio out there. Yes, no, yes, no. Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. There we go. We do have a delay. Sounds good. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for being here. The messy day will start in a few minutes. It is dark o'clock where I'm at, as usual. Trying to look pretty for you. Tough task this early in the morning. We're looking at the futures contract in front. The CPI will come out in a few minutes and we'll see how that plays out. It's an emotional response, so I doubt there'll be new information. Let's go to the 5 minutes. Something happened overnight. Somebody puked something somewhere, and it looks like mega caps. You know, I see a big drop in Apple, for example, gap down from 72 to 70.8, 172 to 170.8. Hi, Pamela. T minus 3 minutes. Hi, Shannon. Rhinos. I see you joyful today. Oscar, thank you for being here. Gary. Trader Joe, who's not Joe. Thank you, Doc. Morning. Order flows. Larry was here. Leon was here first. Leon camped here last night. And then Larry showed up. And then Doc, I think. Anyway, a whole bunch of people showed up early. Thank you. Yeah, I got you. Thank you. Okay. Hey, Dave. Luis, good morning. How's Puerto Rico today? Good morning, Trey. Those were some nice words yesterday you put on the video. Oh. I'm trying to get up to speed. I'm trying to get up. Wake up, body. Wake up. So we do have a lot of interesting tickers today. It's always an early kind of day. Those are the tickers I have. Hello, Nev. I'm always up before 4 o'clock. It's hot. I don't know where there's such a delay. Usually there's like a 3-second delay. It sounds like there's some a little bit more than normal. Hey, Gint. The Northern California representative. Extra early. Yeah, definitely. The West Coasters are at a disadvantage. When I meet up with traders on the West Coast and they fly from the East Coast, they hate it. When it's the opposite, the West Coasters go to the East Coast, they love it. Yeah, 4 a.m. is a tough one. It's actually, I think my alarm says 3:50. I keep moving it, and then I moved it back. Boom. Oh, the CPI is out. Hey, there's no inflation. There's no inflation. Wait, there is inflation. What is the number? My breakfast is charts. I don't eat breakfast. Around 10 o'clock, I have myself a smoothie, and that's about it. All right, so who cares what they're doing, right? This is just an emotional response. Let them have it. I don't even know what the number is. All I know is I see ticks. We don't follow ticks. So if you read my morning note, if you didn't, let me clue you in. I'm not done at 1. I'm never done at 1. I do webinars. I'd have to chart. I have to answer questions. I'm done at 6. So I'm here like 1,700 hours a day. So here, you read all these lines. All of you who are not members, you have not seen these before. These lines scattered from 2 months old to 2 years old. Yeah, I don't care what it says. From 2 months old to 2 years old. We've been stuck inside of them, that little circle. The NASDAQ has surpassed it, and they're waiting to bust out. Let me show you a visual. All right, I guess we're starting. Look at the NASDAQ. This is already higher than February, so they just need an inch to go boom. And the S&P is stuck below the February highs. And then everything else. You have the December CPI reaction that failed miserably. You have August fails from 2022 and 2021. Below us, we have the Ukraine war. Right where we are, I think, is the January bull crap. So there's a lot to cut through. There's a mess from May, I think, of last year. So it's a mess. And for the S&P. So what's it going to take to cut through it? We need something violent to cut through it and put it behind us. Palantir, I sold all my shares yesterday. Why? Because Kramer likes it. I don't want to be on the same bus as Kramer. And it was a big win between selling puts and buying calls and buying shares and all. It's like an 80% win. I was like, okay, I can leave Palantir. I'll re-enter on a dip. I'm pretty sure they'll hate it. All right, so in case you just joined us, welcome. We are trying to do some sessions before the market opens for YouTube. I have 6,500 people signed up for the YouTube channel, which is free. If you don't subscribe to the channel, subscribe and hit the bell, because then they'll give you notifications of live sessions like these and other videos I may release. This is a mild version of what we do every day through Benzinga, for example, and which is be live all day. We're live all day. You can ask the members. A lot of them are here. Thank you for your support, members. We love you. And thank you for the platform, Benzinga. So the idea is to get together and get 300 people so we can beat Wall Street. And we do that pretty well. So let's do that today and get ready for today. This was my pre-morning note on the S&P. I know it's busy, but the message is simple. We have bullish patterns. They need a burst to cut through all of them. Today's CPI, tomorrow's PPI, the day after is some BS, a headline from some Fed head. Doesn't matter. Okay, it is what it is. It's a lot simpler here. That's the NASDAQ. Look how close it is, and it's already in the breakout from its February highs. So let me see here. If you scroll back, they clobbered the February highs, and they're waiting for the S&P to join so they can get to here. So we are in the mode of buying dips. And in fact, you see this? Check this out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ryan, thank you for being here. CM, thank you for being here. You see this? You see this guy? This guy was here Monday. I said, if we dip, it's normal. And look, I didn't, there's no bullshit here. This arrow was here from Monday. So you can go back to Monday's morning note and you will see this arrow here. And it will say, look, and if somebody bought puts here, they're not reading my morning notes. They're not ready. So we get ready. That's why we can put lines. This line was here before the day started. In fact, this line was here yesterday. So this here was Monday. Boom, we got to here. This here was yesterday. What else do you need? What else do you need? If somebody gave you this, would you have traded well in the last couple of days? Well, all the members got this. Hi, Jeff. So this is as ready as a retail investor can be to beat the Wall Street monsters. And they're not that big of monsters. So it is easy to get wrapped up in the headlines. How do you think they win? How do you think Wall Street wins most of the times? They lay traps for us, and we humans fall through the traps. They start giving us a message, and then they lead us. I fight for a sport. I do this when I'm sparring, because I'm old and I'm sparring 20-year-olds, so I have to use my brains. So when I'm sparring them, I lay down the path so I can control I move left so they can move right. I turn shoulder so they can go here. That's what Wall Street does. I'll give you a perfect example. Recently, we got something called the VIX 1D. We don't need it. They told us we need it for the last 2 months. If you read articles, the article said, oh, because of 0 DTE options, which are the options that expire every day, the VIX is no longer useful. For 2 months, I read these articles. And then I said to the members, I said, I bet you they're bringing in something new that we need. And then comes the VIX 1D and the VIX 9D. We don't need that. You can use it if you want to, but we don't need it. But they told us we need it, so now we thought we need it. And we watched it for 3 days, and it pissed us off. And then we said, we don't need this. What's sparring? It's when you put on gloves and you push somebody in the face. Okay, so the message is, the NASDAQ is about to break out again. It is in a breakout. It wants to confirm it by making a higher high from 3 days ago. The S&P has not broken out, has not been able to break out for months and months and months. So this guy needs help to cut through all of this. I don't know how we're going to do it. Inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it, the potential is there. This is there. Look, bulls need a miracle to push through this. Miracle can come. These guys are waiting. I don't know if they'll wait too long. This is too easy. So we either have a hiccup that drops us 5% so we can get a better base, or we just break out and the S&P is going to surprise people today, that or tomorrow. So that's the scenario I see. Again, if you haven't seen this chart that the members got 2 days ago had this arrow that said if the dip comes, it's normal. Yesterday morning, it had this arrow, which says, and if we dip, we'll go up. So we came to here. That's pretty accurate. And here we are. That's pretty accurate. So now we should just do this and try to come back and take this out and finish this. If this happens, this has to be up here somewhere. Okay, so we look at the leaders, which are the big guys, Google, Microsoft, and all of that. So here we are. We just did SPY and QQQ. In case you missed it, I'm doing tickers from you. So first one is SPY and QQQ. We just did them, okay? And if you want a SPY one, here it is. The SPY needs to also break away from its prior 2-day limits, but it still has the February highs above it and the April highs above it and the May highs, whereas the Qs have already cleared all of that and they're waiting. Okay, now let's go to the IWM. This is a basket of 2,000 stocks, a little bit broader. It's not controlled by one giant company, but they do trade in one lump sum and they do move faster than the other indices. But if you see the red and green bars, those are natural support and resistance zones. I'm long the IWM as stated to the people in the live room. So what was it, 2 weeks ago? I don't remember when. I posted in the live room. I bought 175 calls for next week, 5/19 expiration, which is the monthly expiration. That's a heavy volume expiration week. So I've been posting that I've been selling covered calls against them, which means that I have booked profits in my pocket. These were just under $300 a contract. and I booked about $150 in profits already. How? By selling covered calls against them. So I still have them. It still shows cost basis of $300, but I've already booked $150 in profits. So really the cost is half. So depends on what the values are today. I haven't checked for that contract, and whatever it is, I'm that much cheaper. So let me look it up. It is $220. If we open green, it'll probably bill it a little bit more. So I have 150 in my pocket, and it's still 215. I can liquidate that, even though it's less than what I paid. I came out a winner, right? But I'm going to hang on to them one more day and see what happens. If the small caps, which is what this is, you see that little pattern here? It looks like an inverse head and shoulders. It's not quite perfect, but it has the spirit of one. So this attempt, they went back to a neckline. This attempt, the bears did more, and the bulls were able to push them back into the neckline. Here's another attempt that the bears have not succeeded doing much with, which was yesterday. If the bulls are able to bring them back to the neckline and then break out of it, that looks like an inverse head and shoulders. I'm going to be loosey-goosey with the target. That's not quite exactly correct, but all I need is a burst to cut through all of these. I recognize there's going to be a lot of resistance in the way. This was the heart of a couple of golden zones if you're a Fibonacci person from last year and this year. So I have to respect the fact that just like the S&P, the small caps has a bunch of scar tissue to go through. That is a lot of resistance. A lot of resistance. Meanwhile, the QQQ has almost no resistance, just one line and they're gone. The S&P has a lot of resistance. So we have different stories. Be careful chasing what and how, okay? That's all I'm saying. Yes, if you like this stuff, hit the like button. Let's see here. I don't see any new tickers. I'm trying to keep a tab of all the tickers that come in. I'll tell you the tickers I have. Actually, I won't tell you the tickers I have. I'll show you what they are. And I'm just going in order. So when we publish it, we will have it as a neat orderly. So today's opportunity for me is TWLO. If you know me, I do like TWLO. I hope it opens here. I'm sorry if you're long. I wasn't. Last night, we had good fun watching the earnings. So I made comments on tickers. And here's TWLO. I think I said down is easier. And I would not hold calls. That was the story. Other people wanted to hold calls, so we came up with strategies for those who wanted to hold calls. Look at that. Okay, so I put this alert this morning. Okay, progress on the NASDAQ. I'm going to give you a side number, a couple of side numbers. Watch Microsoft 310. And Alphabet, the GOOGL 110.2. I'll repeat it. Microsoft 310, Alphabet 110.2. Tesla's gone. I don't know if you're seeing Tesla. It's way above prior day high. And Apple is just below that. So the NASDAQ is taking the bull by the horn, as they say. Okay. Back to the point. TWLO, I was expecting downside. Other people were expecting upside. So we laid out pretty complicated trades on the upside scenario, and I am not partaking in those. I will buy the dip. Okay, so let me take down some Apple, Tesla, GoPro. Okay, we'll do GoPro. And we will do LI. I think they reported earnings today. All right, so earnings stickers, that's fine. So here's the problem with this guy. Remember I just told you head and shoulders? Inverse head and shoulders. This looks like it's triggering a head and shoulders. The downside scenario is this much. Okay, so if it does play out, it'll probably look like this at least. And technically it could be, I'm going to be loosey-goosey with the targets. It could be something like this. All right, so this company grew sales, I want to say 15%, and had pretty decent margins. I don't think this will happen. And these two are super strong buyers. So I will go long today, TWLO. How if you remember, you will see me do it live. So this is, it should be buyers. And I'm going to put this here and say not likely. And so they will start it, maybe they will dip in here. I will go long today, Twilio. I've gone long Twilio recently and it made us money a couple of times. I'm going to try my luck again. That's what I'm doing. Okay, moving on. I think AFRM is next. And AFRM, I forgot what I said. Was it popping up today? Down 4%. It's a good company. If I hadn't caught the falling knife in PayPal, I would actually do a catch a falling knife in AFRM. But AFRM has now a new competitor, I think, which is Amazon. So I respect Amazon and I skip AFRM long. I'm not going to go long AFRM, although it's a good company. All right, I do have tickers. Yay, finally, you're not shy. Net. So I have Lee, Net, RIVN, thank you. EA, we did that yesterday. That must be a member. Apple. We'll do Apple. We'll do Tesla. We did GoPro. I mean, we added GoPro. NVDA. KO, really? Why is KO so active? Such a boring company. Disney. Disney earnings tomorrow. Okay, so Firefly, are you a member? I can't remember who Firefly is. If you're a member, ask me about Disney in the live room. Yes, Airbnb is on here. If your ticker is on the list, don't add it. You'll confuse me. Okay, let's see here. KO, Disney, Airbnb is on there. NVIDIA, KO, and Disney. Okay, yeah, I got those. Here's my new updated list to give you guidance. These are recovered. We are up to AFRM. We did Twilio, AFRM, and now Upstart. Upstart. Liquidate all your belongings and go long Upstart. No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Oh, John, come back soon. Sorry to hear about that. Hopefully you're getting better. So this company, Upstart, I'm long shares. I added some shares yesterday. You guys should be millionaires today. Ryan yesterday popped in and said he's long calls from 2 days ago, I think. So this should pay pretty well. And then I think it's moving a little bit, just a little bit, 40% up. It's never a good idea to chase a stock 40% going into prior fails. That's not to say you should short it, but I'm saying if you're buying calls this morning, you're buying Ryan's winnings. And I may liquidate my shares this morning. The trade is no longer the way it used to be. So I took it because of one thing and now it's something else. So the environment has changed a lot. We'll see if we can do FCEL. I don't promise anything, Plug or Shopify, okay? Thank you, Michael. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see. I got to make sure that my members are in here. We do have a live trading room going on, but they're probably wondering, where the hell is he? And I'm here. Square, is it not on the list? Okay, we'll add it on the list. I went long Square. Does that help? I would not go long Shop here. Does that help? Okay, so we are up to Upstart. Airbnb is maybe an opportunity on this dip, but let's look at it from this perspective. It's falling into support, but this is the 50% eyeball of this rally. Look at that, pretty close. So it is normal for a stock to give back half of a super big rally. I think this was an overshoot. So there is a chance that it does hold here because of support at 107, but there's an equal chance to go to 100. So if you force me, I will add this to, oh, it's already there. I would go long Airbnb, but I would do it by maybe selling puts rather than buying calls. If you're buying shares, I would buy partial position. I did not read their report, so I will do that first. On the other ones, I kind of read the report, like the headlines. And I don't care about missed or beat. I look at actual numbers versus last year. Is their business growing or not? That's what I care about. All right, in case you missed it, we're doing a special session for YouTube. We have more than 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've ignored them for way too long, and this is for them. Hopefully they see it and they hit the bell. If you don't subscribe to this channel, do it. It's free so far. And hit the little bell icon so you can get notified of these sessions in the future and other videos. Like I released 2 videos in the last 2 days that if you watched, would have showed you what happened in the middle of the day and would have offered you more proof about why it is not good to trade headlines. Like if you're now chasing the CPI, like what did you learn from the CPI today that told you yesterday is the day I'm going to go long because of the CPI? You don't shop? The shopping should tell you that inflation is about the same, maybe a little bit lower. It's definitely not higher. So what's the CPI going to tell you? And if the CPI came out something different, would you change your mind even though you're actually shopping and you know what the inflation is because you're actually spending money? So ignore the noise. Ignore it. Hey, Jay. Okay. Airbnb, catchable, partial position. If I'm long, I'm not adding. This is not a place I would add if I'm already long. RBLX, which I haven't traded in eons. Wow. Okay. So this tick here would have put it in danger of going much, much lower, which was not probable, although possible. And this tick here should give you an idea of where they don't want to be. Let's see if we can break it down. I'm going down into smaller time frames to see where the breakouts are. Okay, so I think this is too small. Watch this. So you can put a band here. What is this, a 15-minute candle? Okay, 15 important minutes in the earnings reaction. So this is a spot where next time it falls in here, I'm interested. So I'm going to put an alert in here. And then I'll see it. So in the next, I don't know, couple weeks, I know that this is an important 15-minute candle. So if this stock falls into here, maybe it's interesting to catch. All right. So if I'm long, I'm not adding. If I'm looking to get long, why wouldn't I have gotten long yesterday? So it's a no trade for me. But I know there's support below, like I just said, and I know there's going to be a resistance into 39 and 40. The closer you get to 40, the less likely I would be to go long. RBLX. All right. Only 58 likes. The goal is to get to 100 likes so we can at least meet the last time. Let's see here. Maybe I need to go to Twitter and get us some new people. Let's see here. Where is it? Where are you, Twitter? CPI Day, charting live on YouTube now. Bring your tickers, and I'll put mine so far. All right. Back to you. Okay. Somebody asked for bros. That's a coffee, right? Or chocolate or something. Did they report? If they reported, that's a muted response. Oh, down 5%. So it is down 5%. But if you look at it, this is a 4-hour chart. It's fairly long term. And you can see how they're testing the prior base. So there's plenty of support below 30. So if I'm long in this vicinity, I'm not doing anything crazy. Let me see if I go to a daily chart. Will that change my mind? A weekly chart. No, you see, it's a base for a long time. So I should have the courage to own the stock or have a position in it. I don't know if I want to own calls. Like calls are deteriorate quickly. So if I wanted to own calls, I would buy calls out in time and sell shorter dated calls into diagonals or calendars. That's how I would do that one. So this down 5% is not a reason to add stock. If somebody wants to engage in it, I would go partial position because we don't know what the market's going to do. Again, I'm going to tell you to look at today Microsoft 310, Alphabet, Google with L at 110.2, and Apple 173.6. Basically watch their prior day highs at the open. Tesla's gone. It's taken that out, which I'm long and I will close today. What did Shelly say? What did Shelly say? Oh, yeah, don't like more than once. You'll unlike it. Is there like a I really like button? Shouldn't they say I really like button? Anyway, that's bros. Palantir. I sold my shares yesterday because somebody among the members told me that they that Kramer likes it. So I'm missing out on about 15 cents. If Kramer likes it, I'm out. I like the company. They're doing well. They'll have a successful future. I'll buy it on the next dip. So that's Palantir. If you're buying calls or buying shares here, you're buying it into a prior fail. So if you absolutely must, do a partial position. So at least you're long, but if drops $1, then you can add some more. It depends on your perspective. I meant to hold it for a long term. I've been holding it for a long term. My entry price was in the low 7s, so it was a good trade. Not to count. So I had at least 40% from the markup here, and I also sold some puts that I wasn't assigned, so that was extra money. Yeah, super like. Why not? Super like. Palantir is an own as an investment and buy on dips. The anti-Kramer, I kid you not, somebody in the live room or in one of my chat rooms said Kramer is all on board with it now, so I immediately went and sold my shares. Probably stupid thing to do, but it felt good. Okay, GoPro. You know, this company is a lottery ticket. Every time I buy the shares under 5, I end up making money in some point. This time I've invested in it. I took a small trade in it. I'm red, so I don't know how I'm going to manage it. Recently it fell to the low 4s, which was unusual. It's been there before. It should have a pop in it at some point. It has a big base from 2020. That's September. So if I own shares, I'll sit on them. I don't think there's enough to sell covered calls against them. The company's not fantastic. Their product is good, great. I'm thinking they get bought out. I mean, if it's all about self this and self that, they have good eyes, right? And if somebody does not want to use LiDAR, don't they want to use camera and lenses? So they might buy the company. I don't know. I'm just taking. Yeah, exactly, Joseph, right? Now he likes it. What an idiot, that guy. He's not an idiot. He's clearly a smart guy, but what a goofball. Clown, maybe? Clown. All right, this is Li Auto. I'm not judging their cars. The only EV that's making money actually is Tesla. So if I'm investing in EVs, it's Tesla, and I am long Tesla, and I will be closing my long today. I'm not long via owning shares or calls. I sold puts on a bad day. I think it's my 5th set that I sold inside the live room, and they're all winners, and I didn't even need to check them. So I have 5 to 10% worth of the stock price moves in maybe close to 7% in actually just sold puts. So I'm happy with that strategy. I'll continue doing it. Why am I closing it today? It has like 40 days on the clock, and it takes up $2,800 in margin per contract, I think. So I want to get it off my books so I can roll it into Twilio. So whatever margin I'm going to free up from Tesla, I'm going to roll it into the most hated stock today, which is Twilio for some reason. So I'll do that. Lee, a close above here could be considered as a breakout. The target of that would be up in the 30s, which would definitely take this out. So I call this tag teaming bulls. Higher lows, breakout confirmed. If it is confirmed, it's not yet confirmed. The target of which would launch another one. So I don't know what this is, but it's probably target up in the high 30s. So I'm going to say this to Lee. Lee is in an ascending channel, so the bulls are in charge of late. So be realistic, bears, if you're shorting it. And also I can say this very confidently, that they are buying dips, right? Dip bought, whoops. Dip bought, dip bought, dip bought. Buy the next dip. That would be my strategy. I would not go long into this mess. I would wait for a dip towards 25 or 24. And here's how you can do it. If you see a call that you want to buy, I usually would put the entry price minus. So if the call cost $1 and I'm not in a hurry to buy that call, I'll offer them 60 cents or 70 cents and wait. If it dips, I get filled. And now I'm long down here on a down tick. I'll get a discount on the call, and I'll get a longer rally potential. So for me, Lee is a buy the dip mode, not chase. But it looks like it wants to break out. Cloudflare. I would have bought that dip if I wasn't long stocks like it. Right now, it's going into potential resistance around 53. So 52, 54. On a dip, maybe, when it comes back to here, and I would go long against these and stop out if I'm wrong. I don't know the business very well. I think it's doing okay. So you just educate yourself. Like if I'm going long Twilio, I wouldn't go long this one. Between Twilio and this one, I would choose Twilio just because it's falling faster. I'm a guy that looks for what other people hate and see if I can make easy money off of it. RIVN. I'm concerned about RIVN from the standpoint of I don't know about the relationship with Amazon anymore. Now, I did a few trades that won, and I did a couple trades that may have lost money. Because I say may because if I did a 15, 12.5 credit put spread and the stock fell below, and it did, and I got assigned at 15, and my comments were I would sell the protective put and say give me the shares at 15. I'm even now green. I would get out because I don't know. They spend too much money and they may have a falling out with Amazon. I'm speculating. I do not know that for a fact. Okay. But they diluted their stock, and that's why the stock fell and caused me to lose money. And when a company dilutes the stock, which means they offer a convertible bond of sorts, so they borrow money and they tell the lender, you can have shares in return. So me, the owner, will have the share that ownership with more people. So they're diluting my piece of the pie, me being Amazon. They must have gone to Amazon and said, we need money. Amazon said, no, we're tapped out. And they said, well, then we're going to go and dilute you. And that would not have sat pretty with Amazon. So I want to see what happens there. If I'm long, I'd be out, to be honest. The car's fine. They'll sell every car they make. I want to see them dial in the spending a little bit, not to where I want to know that they can expand the growth without more billions in spending. I'm not sure they can. So, and I live down the street from their headquarters. So this area, 15.5, look how pivotal it is. Not for me. This is not a good place to start longs. If you're investing for the long term, don't even listen to anything I said. You're in it for the long term. It's a different comment. Okay, so we are looking at EA. It looks like it wants to break out. I don't remember if I said anything about EA yesterday. Let me see if I had notes. Maybe not. Okay. We're looking at a 4-hour chart, fairly long term, and it looks like it wants to break out. This looks like a breakout, but you have to look to here, and you have to look to this. So I think they're not out of the woods until they clear 134. So it's a buy the dip opportunity. And again here, you have to admit to yourself that there's a slight descending channel going, and that they are buying dips, right? So you can see that dip bought, couple of dips bought. Here's a dip that they bought. They bought the dip, so why not buy the next dip? I think that it dips, maybe even to 121, but I think 124 is better than chasing it at 129. Oh, I don't like to buy something that's going into a prior fail, but it does. If it does clear it, it's going to 143 and 144. So if I'm long, I can sit in it. If I want to get long, I would do a calendar or a diagonal. Get long and get short at the same time. So timing the breakout. I would sell a put spread and buy a call spread. I don't know if I'll buy straight up calls and wait. Okay, we have Apple. What do they make? I've never heard of them. Okay, let's see here. A vulnerable. What does this say? Vulnerable up here. Okay, they exceeded the vulnerability. All right, let's look at it from multiple time frames. At one time. All right, they look like they overcame a vulnerable spot. Okay, vulnerable, and look at the dip that happened, and now they bumped up. Overnight, they had that little dip here, which looked pretty nasty, right? That little dip right there, down bottom right-hand corner. And now they're above that, and if they go above 173.54, which is prior day high, Apple could be leading the stock market out. This is the breakout that is brewing in the QQQs. Weird scenario that they're breaking out and making higher high, and this piece of crap cannot come out of it. the S&P futures or the S&P cannot cut through this junk. This is how we started the day here. Look at all this junk. If you read the comments, I'll tell you, they span from 2 months old, 2 weeks old to 2 years old. Big levels. And I mean like big levels, including the Ukraine war, the 2021 comment, 2022 Bullard comments. Everything is in here. August 2021, August 2022, May 2022, CPI from 2022 in December and November. November is a little below, I think. Bunch of problems. Let's go already. Let's go already. Let's go. Okay, so Apple has nothing wrong in it. I don't want to take longs in Apple. Shorter term, like a 15-minute chart, look at what going long into. But if you clear that 174 area, that's what I'm saying. 173.54 today and 174. If you clear that, it's going to 176 maybe, and 177. So I wouldn't short it, but I wouldn't load up long as an investment. It's not an obvious entry point. It's not a bad one. It's just not an obvious entry point. Like TWLO is an obvious entry point to my eye. Look at this. I wish somebody draws lines as to what the stock price is going to do. What? We do. Look at this. What are you talking about here? Like, this line was there. I guarantee it. I have proof. And if Tesla takes out 175, it can go to 185. I'm long via sold puts. I'll close them today. They're down to pennies, so I'm close to my maximum gains. I will re-engage when people hate it again. Okay, yes, we do draw lines that come to fruition. How about this one? If you missed it, 2 days ago, I had this arrow down. It said, if dip, that would be normal. Look at where it dipped. And yesterday, I had this arrow, and I said we would be up here after the dip. And here we go. Okay, backed. I tell you why we draw lines, and we save them. Tesla, NVIDIA. We're at 80 likes. How much time do we have? We have 20 minutes. I need 100, please. Please. This is like food for somebody who's streaming. We live on likes. If you hit like already, don't hit again. You'll take one away. Okay, so what is this? NVIDIA. People are trying to short NVIDIA. I wanted to short NVIDIA. It is not shortable. Why? Just think like a gazelle. I mean, like a lioness. A lioness does not chase when they're chasing after a herd of gazelles. They don't chase the gazelle that's jumping and kicking its feet. They chase the ones that are slower for some reason, either babies or injured ones. This is not an injured gazelle. You see that little dip right there? So this is called something called a wolf wave. But this can happen from wherever level. The way I see it is, it's extended. I give you that. It is shortable. Maybe. Depends on how you trade. Credit call spreads, maybe. Bear call spreads. It is shortable by selling covered calls against shares you own or calls you own. It is shortable against this. But if it dips a little bit and comes back and takes out from where it fell from, it can go to 400 and 420. I didn't say it's going to 420. Nick, stop knocking the microphone. I said that if it dips and recovers and make a higher high from where it dips, it could get to 420, yes. So I don't want to short it. I think it's rallying on something new, which is artificial intelligence, and you can't short an idea. This is like Tesla and Amazon when they were rallying on an idea. You can't short it. Just don't fight the tape. They're buying every dip, and they're creating plateaus. Plateau up, plateau up. Eventually this will fall apart. But if you keep shorting it and adding to your short, what's your thesis? It's a successful company. It's a popular company. Wall Street loves it. I don't know. It's not for me. KO, we go from super exciting to super boring, yet KO's stock is insane. There's no way on the planet Earth you would convince me to get long this company up here. I don't know what is going on. It's going to have to do it without me. All right, so let's talk some wonk. If you know harmonics, if you don't, that's okay. There's a tool that does this for you. Shout out to Scott Carney. This is his tool. This is harmonictrader.com. So the idea is that they see patterns They have like 6 or 7 patterns that they repeat themselves. Like this is one of them, that red W. And once it draws itself, it suggests, it doesn't say it's going there, but it suggests that maybe target 1 is about 62. And maybe even in a worst case scenario, target 2 is below 60. Okay, so I would think that as long as it's setting lower highs, that's the path. So if I wanted to get long, I think I could get it for 62 in the next couple of weeks. All right. You had me came back to watch. Okay, Ryan, and listen, thank you for coming back. You can watch the whole video later. In 20 minutes after I'm done, I think it becomes available. So, and I'll put the tickers on the bottom and you can scroll through to the tickers you want. But we had some good comments. So Disney, we traded Disney very well. And up here, let me see. Let me look at it from different time frames. I like this look because I can see 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and 1 minute. Okay, so from a trading perspective, this is a 15-minute chart here. Make it bigger for you. It's going into 2 prior fails. So the immediate comment is, until they take out 104, I think it's got resistance. But if they do take out 104, they gain another $1.50. So not an obvious entry point. Plus there's this big mess up here. It depends on your time frame. If you're long, it's not a reason to get out. If you're looking to get long, it's not a reason to go all in. And here's what we did with Disney. We traded it pretty well in the past. We shorted it and went long it twice, I think. It has repeating patterns, so we shorted it and then it came to our target. We went long and then we went long again. I'm fairly certain. So now it's it could be in a breakout from here, so it could be headed towards here. I would rather get it on a bad day than chase it up. It's a good company, good assets. Everybody makes fun of it, but you can't argue with Mickey Mouse. Is there anybody on the planet that doesn't know Mickey Mouse? I think it's the best brand on the planet, beyond Apple. Even people in the Amazon that have never seen an iWatch or a phone, they've seen some Disney logo hat or Mickey Mouse hat go down the river somewhere as trash. It's probably the case. FCEL, I don't know anything about FCEL. I'm just going down the list that you guys gave me. So here, me not knowing anything about this. Oh, by the way, this green M you see here is the opposite of the red W you saw earlier. It suggested that target 1 was 2.7 or 2.75, so it's headed towards that. So I would think that if they can hold 210, they might be able to take out 260 and get there. So if I'm long, I stay long. I do have support. So if I buy calls or buy shares, I would choose a point where I would stop out. Gets you in trouble. Yeah, you can't argue with Mickey Mouse. He doesn't like it. Oh, I couldn't do the voice right now. Plug Power. I'm not a fan of the whole industry. People are selling us on, is this an EV charging station? Alternative energy technology was focused on the design, development, commercial. Oh, hydrogen. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm not an EV person, so if this is not an EV story, maybe I'm interested. But look at the stock. So when the stock starts doing this, I stop looking at it. Clearly, Wall Street doesn't like it. It doesn't matter what you think of it and what you believe is going to be in the future. Why? This is what I call escargot. If you know what escargot is it's snails. Why would we want to eat snails? Oh, but they're delicious if you put butter on them and you do them. Blah, blah. Why do I need to eat snails? When I'm out of mushrooms and chicken, I would eat snot. Why would I want to do that? Okay, so not for me. Absolutely not for me. And the chart is not going to help you. So you need to do homework on the company itself and decide for yourself if you want to, quote, invest or not. Shopify. Don't chase it here, although it could go to 90, right? So we went long several times in Shopify. We traded it well. I don't want to chase it. If I'm looking left, hey William, if I'm looking left, William knows about what to eat and what not to eat. He's a health expert. I think, because that's my William. Yeah, I think so. I'm looking at the picture. That's a tiny picture. Okay, so this box is important. Look at it. So you're into an important box. It's from a breakout, so it could get to 75 or 80. This stock runs fast. I would not consider it shortable. It is a buy the dip thing. So on the next time where people freak out and they hate Shopify, go long. I believe this management team is not, you can't bank on this management team. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Do what? A few earnings ago, he goes on Mad Money or whatever the hell, the Kramer's show, and he said, Jim, we got this one wrong. The day before the earnings. Are they even allowed to talk? And the stock fell 16, 17%. Screwed everybody that wanted to trade it. We went long on the dip. We made money. This time, a few days before the earnings, they come out with news that they're selling part of their business and the stock takes off 20% or whatever. Why not do it on the earnings when people want to trade your stock, when they want to cover themselves? It is so weird. It's just, anyway. So I like the company. I will buy dips. I wouldn't chase it, although it has upside potential. So Square. I am long Square. Am I green or red? This is multiple times. We were long Square during this Hindenburg dip. And we were long via a credit put spread, a bull put spread, where price fell right through. And I said I would sell the protection leg. And if somebody followed me, they made thousands of dollars that day and the day after. And I sold more puts and made more money into it. I recently sold more puts. So the fact that I sold puts in Square and PayPal yesterday, Square before, I'm not adding. So I'm long enough Square and PayPal. They're kind of the same company. So it's not too late to go long Square if you're an investor for the long term. This is a base on the long-term basis. And I wouldn't go all in, because if the market has a hiccup, Square could be 52, which is where it was in October of last year. So October of last year was the low in the markets. And we are nowhere near the October lows in the markets. So this one is underperforming the market. So you have to pay attention to that fact. I have people looking out for me. Yes, I did. That's so good. I almost forgot though. All right. So I have, that was the last ticker. What tickers did I miss? Tell me. So I'll show you what tickers I have done so far. And if you don't see your ticker here, tell me. If you see your ticker, you can replay the video after we're done, which is in about maybe 5 minutes or so. And then you can find what I said about it. But if you don't see your ticker here, you have 5 minutes if you want me to cover another ticker. To recap, okay, the NASDAQ is in a double breakout, which means it broke out of February high, and it just broke out of this week's and last week's high, and I just got the alert that I set. Within that, watch 310 on Microsoft and Alphabet, GOOGL 110.2, and Apple 173.55.6. Those are important for the NASDAQ. If they take those out, this gets even higher. The problem is this. The problem is the S&P futures, which is the S&P, is stuck inside a wall of things. So why is this one stuck below February, below everything that date back 2 years? I need this one to break out. That's the big picture. The IWM, I'm long and probably still profitable. I will sell covered calls against my longs. Okay, Hood and CRM, we'll do those. CRM. Hood, I'm long shares. I will get out at a pop. That was a mistake, and I'm stuck in it, and I'm leaving them on as a lesson reminder to me that it was 100 shares. I got a sign I forgot I had a trade on. Huge resistance into 10.5, big support below, so stuck. What are you going to do? Nothing. I don't know if their P&L is doing well or not. I have people that use it, and they're pretty happy with it. The P&L is not doing well, but it's kind of stabilized, at least on a quarterly basis. So we'll give it another year and see how it does. From an investment perspective, I don't know why anybody would initiate an investment in it. If you know the company and you think they're going to do well in the future, maybe it's a buyout candidate. You have support, so it's not bad. Okay, CRM. I do like CRM as a company. I don't like this entry up here. That's way too high. They will hate it, and when they will hate it, I'll jump all over it. Right now, it's rallying into a prior mess. So if you wanted to put an area that has been pretty violent, it's this one where it's at. Look at what happened in it. Look at what happened in it. Look at what happened in it. They couldn't get it back, and now they're in the middle of it. Not for me. It is not an easy starting point. There might be easier trades. Okay, so that is not for me. Company-wise, it's outstanding. Management super strong, super confident. I love that. Okay. And the CEO will never disappoint you. Snow and AMD, and I think that will be done. Because I need to wrap this up so I can go trade. I got to go trade. Nick, you haven't mentioned the CPI. Fuck the CPI. We don't need it. Uh-oh. F word. We don't need the CPI. We shop. We know. Snow. Are we at 100? We are at 100 likes. Okay, I don't have to beat anybody up. 155 was important to clear, plus or minus $2. Big problem here. So bulls are in charge. They're buying dips. If they dip, look at it. Dip, bought. If they dip and they buy it and they take out the place from which they dip, they have the opportunity to take these out. So good base. Tilting up, going into prior fail. If I'm long, I would trim. I would sell covered calls. That's what I would do. It is a beautiful day to make money. Every day is a beautiful day to make money. AMD, last ticker. No, I guess we can do one more or two. AMD. Okay, so I may piss people off here. Here's the red W again, right? And it hit target 1. I don't need target 2. Target 2 is available. I don't need it. So AMD is close to breakout. The closer it gets to 100, the harder it is to rally. Here's the big picture. 100, 104, 108 is death for AMD. That's what brought upon the death from here. Look, there's a headline here. I mean, neckline right there. You see it? But it's not really like this. Maybe it's like that. It's actually a zone. 100 to 108 caused it to come down to here. Until they recover it, you don't trust it, but it's okay. Because why? Because it might be making an inverse head and shoulders here, the target of which is this much upside. Well, maybe $15. So it could get to 132, but this zone above you is pretty tough. So you have to respect it, okay? Respect it. If you're long, that's fine. If you're loading all in here, I don't know about that. So AMD is a good company. I don't know if it's an easy entry point here. It's just not very obvious. Beto, I'm long, Ryan. I'm collecting that fat dividend. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. The video is behind. Yeah, it's like delayed 5 seconds maybe. There's no way for me to delete the delay. BA has been stuck in a nice range. It's tradable inside the range. So iron condors work best. I'm not buying calls. I'm not buying puts. I sell lottery tickets if I wanted to. And the range is set. So if BA, for whatever reason, loses 192, it goes into 180s. That would be a good place to get long. You have a lot of sellers above. So it's literally stuck. I think the closer it gets to 212, the harder it is to be long. So sell iron condors. If you don't know what that is, pop in and we'll show you. We can trade it all day for you. So we'll add BA to the list here. All right, let me see. That is the last stock. I'll do Unity and we're done. Okay, Unity. All right, so Unity, you have a harmonic working. A dip into 27. If it holds, they might come back and get to 31 or 32. If you're an investor, not a reason to add, but it's okay to be long if you're an investor for the long term. If you're a trader, you're going into a prior fail, and the fail is a big, wide region. So some of these stocks are tough to trade. So let's zoom in. Okay, so here's an immediate box for Unity that you have to deal with. I'm going to give you a range. This is a range. So if they take this range out, they'll get to 30.50. Otherwise, buy the dip to see if they can do it if you're interested in the stock. I have not traded in a long time. I do have friends who have made money and lost money in it. I'm long the IWM, so I feel like I'm indirectly long Unity. So that's what it is. All right. Anybody that's not a member, you can join us however you want. And anybody who showed up and showed their support as a member, thank you very much. I really appreciate you every day. We hit 113 likes. I think that was way more than last time. They did already. They did. I love it. I will try to do this twice a week. We skipped Monday. We got busy. It was my mistake. Sorry, Arlenis. And we'll do that next Monday and next Wednesday. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free, and hit the bell. All right, so we're going to end it. Members, go into the live room where we have 170 people already. Go into the live room so we can finish this. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Later, have a good day. And forget about the report, the CPI report. It's not about that.